9 in the afternoon, I'm feeling upset. Wish I could lose you, I wish I could forget. But the mind is a cage, and the longer that we age, our brains become the stage of the drama and the rage. And I'm pretty medicated if you had to ask me. Sativa dreams got me singing songs likely, but a band-aid covers up the pain is all. Cause I'm going cuckoo bananas, waiting for your call. Waiting on your call, so I'm hopping in my car. No speed limit, it won't take me too long. This shit could get a little spooky. Tell the neighbor there's nothing to see. I'm sliding through your streets and I'm swerving around them curves. I'm climbing through your hedges and I'm through the front door. Didn't I tell you not to panic? This shit isn't peculiar. I'm manic. OMG, it is Lil OC, and you're back with he. I don't have anything else. Hi, welcome to a brand spanking new episode of A Kiki with me, home of the Green Chair Chats, home of the Revolution Redemption, home of Speculation Not Confirmation, and of course, home of the Revolution Rehabilitation. And of course, one more time, welcome to the Revolution Detective Agency, and it is so good to be here with all of you rebels of the Revolution. I love Revolution. Can you tell? Hi, welcome. Good to see you guys. I see you in the chat. Kat says we want Courtney, and here I am. Jessica saying Madison's here. Hello, Madison Hill. She is our she of tea. She's Madison Hill. She's always fitting the bill. Be sure to check out her channel. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to watch all of her videos. And if you've been wondering where Madison Hill is with me over at Holly Scoop, you're definitely going to want to watch her latest YouTube video. She is spilling all, she's revealing all, she's giving us that authentic YouTuber life update. So be sure to check out Madison. Hey Madison, thanks for joining us today, girl. Hi. We have a lot to get into today, you guys. I really didn't want to do an entire show revolving around George Floyd, but I also did not want to sit up here for an hour and not discuss George Floyd, and I want to explain to you guys why. I've always said, you guys know, I say it a million times, that this is a safe space. This is a space for us to like kiki, to hee-hee, to ha-ha, to laugh, to sort of take our mind off of all of the things that are happening in the world right now. However, having a platform is something that I've always prayed for. It's something that I've always manifested. It's always something that I've worked towards. And I feel like with this Kiki with me, with this Green Chair Chat, I have to. It's like my duty, one, as a content creator, as someone with a platform, and of course, first and foremost, as a Black person, it is my duty to sit here in front of the camera, in front of this microphone, in front of this good, delicious, ice cold mug of water, and tell you guys what you guys can do to help, how you can raise awareness, what are the right and wrong things to say in this situation, because I know that the past couple of days have been a lot. They have been heavy, they have been triggering, they have been violent, they've been eye-opening for a lot of people. And I feel like in the midst of all of the Lady Gaga Chromatica album review that we're gonna get into, with all of the Kylie Jenner, is she really a billionaire, is she not, with all of those things going on, of course, we're gonna get into our regular, but we're definitely not going to let this hour, this show go by without mentioning George Floyd, without showing some love, without shining a light on the situation that's happening with America currently. So first and foremost, if you are not a Black person and you have not already, I think it would be awesome for you to go ahead on your social media, anywhere that you choose, and hashtag Black Lives Matter. That's how I want to start this stream off. That's how we're starting this Sunday. If you haven't already, all of the All Lives Matter bullshit, because that's what it is, can't accept that. This is not the zone for that. This is a Black Lives Matters zone. I am Black. You support me, so hopefully you support Black lives. But as always, I love to start the stream out with a little bit of positivity. So while I catch my breath and take a sip of my beautiful blue mug of water, go ahead and tell me one positive thing about yourself or about a celebrity that you love. You want to pass pass it on to someone else. Right now in the chat, let me know something positive about yourself right on now. All right, let me sit. Kershell says the past few days have been absolutely absurd. Jessica says I deserve a record deal. Never that. Kay says it's completely unfair about what happened to George. Katie says all this is so horrible. I hope everyone stays safe. Katie, absolutely. That's the first message, first and foremost. Everyone stay safe. If you're not participating in protests, be sure to lock your doors, lock your windows, and just stay away from anything that will cause you any harm or any danger. Madison says we need more Courtney Revolutions in the world, period. Your opinion and voice is always what the world needs to hear. Thank you, Madison. Always, always, always appreciating you, always. Carly says, I've tried to remain positive for others and reach out to see what I could do for my community in a positive light. Angie says, I like that I find myself smiling in Maya. Oh, smiling more. I can't even read. Music Lover got paid on Friday. Shout out to that. And Kat says, Courtney, first thing to do when everything is better out in the world is to have a release party for a single. Imagine that. Daiquiri says that Billie explained that perfectly on Instagram, and Billie Eilish, hats off to her. Billie Eilish definitely did what she needed to do in her statement in terms of the whole All Lives Matter versus Black Lives Matter statement. Lydia Jones is saying, I try to achieve my goals and hashtag Black Lives Matter. Love you, Courtney. Amy says, Kane Brown is coming with new music. Fantastic. Katie Gomez says, I'm currently in South Central and I don't know if I'll be able to get back to Northridge. Katie, please, 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 please stay safe. For those of you guys that are not in LA, downtown, there's a lot of protesting going on, a lot of violence from the police. There's just a lot happening. Keisha says, I'm a Black woman, I'm a mom, a daughter, and sister, and that is very important. You guys know that I come from a Black woman, and I'm very proud to come from a Black woman. My mom is one of the greatest Black women on the planet, in my opinion. Maybe just a smidge biased, but I love her dearly. She's always supportive, and I want to shout out all of the Black women that are out there creating more Black people, because being Black is iconic, legendary, and phenomenal. And I don't ever want you guys to forget that. If you're Black and if you're not Black, remember that if you do have a Black person in your life, they are super and you should always treat them as such. However, I want to start off, I want to make sure that I have time to say everything that I need to say. Now, you guys know that we normally have a Revolution Redemption. If you're new, welcome. The Revolution Redemption is where I sit in my chair and I show a celebrity that I normally drag throughout the week over at my job, and I pat them on the back and I show them a little Papa Bear love. I try to see the other side of things, and I felt like it was my duty this week to shine a light on George Floyd. And I know that George Floyd is not exactly a celebrity, but I do know that there are a lot of conflicting reports about who he was as a person and what he did. And so here on my platform, here in the green chair, I would like to redeem his memory, at least. If you don't know who George Floyd is, I want to read a couple things about him before we jump right on into everything else that we have to get to today. So I want to let you guys know that George Floyd worked as a security at a restaurant where he developed a reputation as someone who had your back and was there for you when you were down. He was described as a gentle giant that would never hurt anyone, and he was a fun person to be around. He was known in his community as a protector and a provider, and he seldom wanted anything in return for helping someone out. And he's loved by his fellow employees and customers at his job. Now, I think that that's excellent, and I hope that by hearing that, you can have an understanding that what has happened is awful. He was someone that was beloved by his community. Why did he have to be murdered in the first place, but especially in the way that he was by the people that he was? You feel me? So keep his memory alive in your hearts and in your mind as you see and take on all of the energy of the content online, of the riots, of the protests. Just always remember that at the core of it all, that George Floyd was a good person. And it's absolutely, it's painfully, as you're saying, Kershell, painfully ironic that George worked with the guy who wound up taking his life. So here's what I'm going to do on my part. I have down below, if you can't see already, I'm sure you've noticed, the Minnesota Freedom Fund. And by donating to the Minnesota Freedom Fund, you're donating to help bail the protesters out of jail. Because if you don't know, here in America, you guys, there are lots of peaceful protests happening, and people are still being hurt and jailed. People are being shot in the face, losing eyeballs. It's very, very violent. It's very traumatic, and it's sad. So if you're feeling lost and you're not really sure how you can help the George Floyd situation, I did my part, and I feel like it would be awesome if you guys would join me in donating to the link down below. It's also down in the description because you can't copy and paste off of a graphic, off of a video. Please check that down in the description box below. Click, read, donate, do your part if you support the Black Lives Matters movement, because I do, and if you support me, I hope that you would do the same. Alrighty, let me sip, girl. Whew. Okay. Now, let me do it. Can we have a cleansing spin? I really want to. It gets a little difficult for me as someone that sort of grew up around half my life all black people and then half my life all white people. It gets a little difficult when you have your community as a teenager constantly growing up and telling you that you act white and you talk white and your voice on these issues don't matter. But as I grow into an adult, a proud to be black male adult, I feel like it's very important to use my voice and my platform no matter who really is going to criticize it. You get what I'm saying? Because I know that my intent is always positive. I always want to raise awareness. So I hope that you guys can understand where I'm coming from with this. I feel like this is important. Black lives do matter. And I feel like if you watch me, if you're entertained by me, if I'm your friend in your head, I hope that you would understand that saying all lives matters it just isn't enough. I also want to say people that are, we shouldn't be protesting. Martin Luther King would say peaceful protesting. Meanwhile, his kids are like, burn the shit to the ground. So, I mean, you have to know your history or you're doomed to repeat it. Now, as we shuffle back on to the entertainment portion of the show, I want to tell you guys about some things that you can see. And we're going to get back into the protests and the Black Lives Matters happenings later on in the show. But for right now, you guys know that I'm always recommending and forcing stuff on y'all. And so this week, I want to recommend a movie that I have been dying to see. It was going to come out in theaters, but because of the circumstances with the crisis and all of that, it was reshuffled over to Netflix. I definitely want to recommend to you guys the iconic and hilarious film, The Lovebirds. You guys, I don't know if you know, maybe you're new. I love Issa Rae. If you love Issa Rae, give this video a thumbs up. I'm sorry. I love Issa Rae. I love Insecure. I've been following Issa Rae and her career for years, since she was a creator on YouTube doing her series Awkward Black Girl. I remember being back in school years and years and years ago, following her character Jay and the fact that she had like a white boyfriend. It's so good. If you haven't seen Awkward Black Girl by Issa Rae, definitely check that out. And she does this movie, and I want to make sure I get her co-star's name right. Kumail Nanjiani, right? Her co-star. Hilarious, you guys. This is a story about a couple, and as you start the movie, you feel as though there's like a breakup going on. Their communication is not exactly the strongest, you guys. And then somehow, in a weird, crazy turn of events, they wind up having to solve a murder mystery. And I know it sounds weird, but this film was hilarious. Like, have you ever been in the movie theater before and you were seeing a funny movie and you went to laugh, but you didn't want to laugh like with your whole chest because you're in a movie theater and you're surrounded by people? I don't have that filter because I don't give a fuck, but most people I know definitely do. Lovebirds is the kind of person. Lovebirds is the kind of movie where I was on the couch with my boyfriend and we were like belly laughing. Like, Issa Rae is hilarious. Something else I really think is important is it was an interracial love story plot, but it wasn't a black actor or actress with a white actor or actress, and I think that we need more of that. Interracial does not only mean black and white. It could mean black and Pakistani. It could mean a Hispanic person and a white person. It doesn't always have to be black and white. And I feel like when you see the word interracial, everyone's mind only goes to black and white. And there are other races and cultures and ethnicities out there. Like, America's supposed to be such a melting pot, bitch. We need more melting pot ass movies, and we don't have them. And I feel like The Lovebirds needs to get all the recognition, all of it. Y'all need to watch this movie right away. Alyssa says, you're a bestie in my head. # Black Lives Matter. Thank you very much. Madison said, finally started Blood and Water, and it's so good. If you guys don't know, and also I want to say thank you guys. I see y'all on Twitter and on Instagram underneath those Blood and Water accounts, like, tagging me, like, thank you so much for recommending this show. You guys know that I am not like the most like in the know with the TV or like watching movies every day. So you know that when I recommend something to you guys, it is because it has moved me, or it has like inspired me, or made me feel motivated. It made me feel something. I feel like you can watch anything online. You can watch whatever show and just have it on and, you know, be on your phone while it plays in the background and still kind of know what's going on. But I love those things that like force me to put my phone down. Like Madison said, Blood and Water, you can't really be on your phone and watch that show because some of it is in their Zulu language. I don't want to be offensive, but I believe it's called Zulu. They're speaking in a different tongue, a different native tongue, if you will. And some of it is in English. So you have to watch because you might miss important things that the other characters say. Definitely watch Lovebirds. Definitely check out Blood and Water. I know that some of you guys have been tagging me on Instagram about stuff about Queen Sono, and I still haven't finished season 1. So keep watching Queen Sono on Netflix. I have to check it out as well because I'm very excited. I'm very curious to see how this story kind of ends. And girl, when this is all over, I'm gonna need to go and take my black ass to Africa, y'all. It's something in my spirit. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, y'all, but I'm feeling like I need to, get my ass to Africa. I need to see the motherland, especially after seeing Blood and Water, especially after seeing Queen Sono, because y'all know Queen Sono, she's giving us a spy woman. You get what I'm saying? She needs to find out what's going on. How did her mother lose her life? Y'all, I'm not gonna spoil nothing. I don't want to give anything away. Just know that Queen Sono, The Lovebirds, and Blood and Water, those are still those things that you have to see right away. Gracie Garcia, you can't read the yellow font. If you can't read the yellow font, it's a link to donate to a foundation that goes to helping bail out the prisoners of the protests right now in Minnesota. If you can't read the font, be sure to jump down in the description box below and you can click that link and it'll take you exactly to where you want to go. No worries. But thank you for letting me know you couldn't read, because y'all know I like color and y'all know my color palette is like teal and yellow and like light blue, and it gets a little hard on the eyes. We'll figure it all out. What else do we want to talk about? You know what time it is, you guys? Let's talk about Chromatica, actually. Because, first of all, let me apologize, you guys. Let me say sorry. I'm sorry, you guys. I wanted to create a space where people that can't watch me on the morning tea at 9 o'clock in the morning, 8:30 in the morning, and can't make this at 12 p.m. on Sundays, I thought it was going to be a clever idea to come up with something that I could do at night, that it would bring in new people, and the people that live nowhere near in my time zone could maybe watch live, and we could interact and we could kiki. I played the Chromatica album in full. I had a wine glass. We had champagne. You guys know, those of you guys that were there. Some of you guys are here for the first time because you met me from the Chromatica live review. And you know what, you guys? I had fun. I swatted off a fly. Remember the fly was coming and bothering me? I was sweating my weave out. We had so much fun those 55 minutes. Bitch, when I tell you I woke up the next day and I did my job over at Holly Scoop and I went to check my email, y'all, I must have had like 12 emails from UMG, like a copyright claim, a copyright claim, a copyright claim, a copyright claim, just all down the email screen, because they had claimed every single song individually. So even if I trimmed, like they made it so they copyrighted each whole part of the individual song. So even if I trimmed out, there would be no video left, because it was like a quick kiki between you and I pressed play, y'all told me stop pausing the shit, and I said, all right, I'm not gonna pause the shit. And then we enjoyed the album together. I wish that they would have left it up or like given me an option on what to do with that, but they didn't. So although I can see it on my end, you guys couldn't see it on your end anymore. Maybe I'll still do them in the future. I just will give lots of notice so that we can have as much people on the stream as possible, and we can have like another like fun music party, because that was so fun. Oh my God, so much fun. We have to do it again. But let's talk about Chromatica. Like, let's talk about it, because we didn't really get a chance to talk about it before. Chromatica as an album, what do I call it? Let me just... That's some good ice cold water. Yo, you ever take a water bottle right out the fridge and it's just icy cold and it does something to your... Let me just... A mess. Sorry that you guys missed the Chromatica live reaction. It really, really, really was fun. It was hella fun. So next time, we'll all just have to try and make it live so that it's iconic. Let's talk about Chromatica. I'm pretty sure 50 times during my live stream that I said Chromatica is not an album. It's not a project. This album was an experience. The interludes, excellent. Get into the string moment. The fact that like each song just like bleeds into the... Stephanie absolutely left me bald. She literally... You guys, I'll say this. The thing with Chromatica is my expectations were so high. Joanne wasn't for me. Cheek to Cheek, the Tony Bennett stuff wasn't for me. Art Pop was alright, but I really hadn't felt moved since Born This Way, and I feel like Chromatica moved me. Them little 40 minutes, girl, she knocked my head this way, knocked my head that way. It was so much, but I just thoroughly enjoyed the project. If you haven't heard it, you have to hear it right away, immediately. I mean, Alice, 1,000 Doves, 911. 911 is that girl. You know what songs are really growing on me? And before I get into the songs that are growing on me, tell me what your top 3 of Chromatica is. You have to pick. You have to tell me right now. What's your top 3 off of Chromatica? What are your favorites? Tell me in the chat right now. Let me take a sip because I'm a little dry. I want to say Free Woman. Loved it on first listen. Something about it today is just... It's just really getting my wig to tap dancing on my scalp. It's just really making me feel like I'm gonna open up my windows, but not really, because the Rona girl. It just makes me want to sing high praises. Lady Gaga just really did what she needed to do on that particular number that I didn't hear on the first listen. I encourage you guys to listen to it more than once. Listen to it one day, and if you feel like it's not for you, give it a break. Listen to it the next day, girl. Maybe your mind will be able to digest the music just a little bit more. But damn, Lady Gaga, she really truly did that. I will say, I'm not a Elton John stan. I know everyone I know, I feel like, is an Elton John stan, and they love his music, and they know that he is like a classic, iconic musician. And I have to say, I was very impressed with his vocals on Gaga's album. I really, truly appreciate Stephanie for putting this out, especially during this time. We have a lot going on that's sad, a lot going on that's somber, and I feel like when my spirits are down, the 2 albums that I'm gonna go to are Future Nostalgia and Chromatica. I'm ready to call it right now that these will be my 2 favorite albums of the year. I'm sure maybe there might be 1 or 2 to join the list. Ooh, I should do an end of the year like live stream where I go through my favorite albums. That's an idea. I might gotta mark that down. But I'm just like, those albums are good, especially during this time. I know that there are people that feel as though, especially with things going on in the world, that she should have waited. But I feel like at what point do we have a moment to ourselves where we say, right now, the pain is a lot, the suffering is heavy on my heart, and right now I just want to shut the door by myself and I just want to dance it out before I get back to supporting and raising awareness and really, 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 giving it to them. I really just want to have a moment to myself, and I feel like Chromatica is an album you can have a moment to yourself. Future Nostalgia is an album where you can have a moment to yourself. That 911, she did that. Y'all need to hear that. Babylon too. Madison says it's another album you can listen to from start to finish. I absolutely agree, Madison. I feel like this is another album that has no skips also as well. I'm definitely a let her play the whole thing kind of album unless the album is actually not cohesive. And I feel like, damn, where is everybody else? Not saying that their focus can't be on Black Lives Matter as well, but I feel like we're in the house, and what better way to sort of give back to a community than to give them some music that either reflects their struggle or distracts them from that struggle. You get what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of artists are like dropping the ball here, but you know what? What do I know? I am not a PR person. I am not an A&R person. I almost said H&R, like H&R Block, bitch. I am not an A&R person. So, I mean, what do I know? I just feel like I would be an artist that was constantly putting out music for my fans to enjoy because this is such a dark time. You get what I'm saying? We're going to have to see. Okay, Wesley says, just like Future Nostalgia, Chromatica is an album that flows beautifully. You start listening to it, and when you notice you're listening the album for the third consecutive time. Yo, yes. Chromatica and Future Nostalgia, both albums that you can just put on, let play, and you could go and do your little work. You could write your little papers. You got a little homework, girl. Get your work done, and before you know it, you're already on your third listen of the album. Before you know, an hour and a half has already gone by, and you're on Levitate for the third time again, girl. Freaky Walrus says 911 is my favorite song, and I love that Gaga clarified in an interview, Papa 911 is about looking for the tight depression meds. She said never does it mean popping Xannies and stuff for fun. Listen, you gotta be clear, because in a day and age like today, the rappers, the musicians, the artists, a lot of them are saying, girl, pop it, pop it, pop it, pop it, pop it. Papa Xanny left and Papa Xanny right, girl. So I'm glad that Lady Gaga is just clear, because she has such a huge audience and she has to be careful. Okay, now, I want to shout out, actually, because I feel like this is important to note that Ariana Grande was out protesting. And I'm glad that Ariana Grande has been so vocal about George Floyd. I've been noticing that there are a lot of celebrities quiet, a lot of personalities quiet, a lot of people that love to take and borrow from Black culture. Those people are silent. You know who's not silent besides Ariana Grande? And the reason I'm bringing her up is because she's not in my notes. And I really, really, really want to invite. That's the word I want to use. I want to invite you to go on ahead and look up what Whoa Vicky said about this. Whoa Vicky, you guys. Not really too much from Danielle Bregoli, though. I find that to be very interesting, that this young lady, who in my mind, in my eyes, what I see, she believes that she really is Black. And she's been rather silent. Whoa Vicky, her response, ate the girls right on up. And I feel like there should be more celebrities out there. Who else do I have on here? Someone else that I thoroughly agreed with him being out there, and it was very good to see him. We had MGK out there and Mod Sun. Machine Gun Kelly was out there. There are some people out there, you guys, that will say MGK thinks that he's Black, wants to be Black, and I have met him and been in his company many times. And I can tell you that that's not true, and it very much made me feel supported, and not like we're friends or close, but it just made me feel supported to know that someone whose music I support, someone who I have shook his hand and we spoke, and just to know that he does support me, because supporting Black Lives Matter is supporting me. Beyonce put out a video, and I felt like Beyonce had important things to say, but there are some celebrities that are choosing to not be as vocal, and I just am wondering why. I'm wondering why. What is going on? You know, we've really had our celebrities come out. Halsey. We've got Halsey out there. Halsey's out there protesting. Bam, Nick Cannon is out there. We got Nick Cannon. I think he even still has the turban on. Go off with the turban. He's out there protesting. I'm just wondering, what is it gonna take to get some sort of, some chutzpah, as Madison Hill would say, from some of these celebrities? Where is everyone? And you know what, you guys, I understand that, because this is something that I always bring up. You know, people, they donate privately. They don't have to tell you that they're donating privately, that they are supporting, that they blah, 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 blah. But I feel like when it comes to a point where people are being slain, where our president is saying, girl, when the looting starts, girl, the shooting starts, release the National Guard. When stuff like that starts to happen, then I feel like you have a voice. You have a platform. You got to stand up. You got to go on Instagram. Now's the time you go on Instagram Live and you start saying, yo, what is going on? There is a YouTuber out there named Elijah Daniel. He was over at the protest, and he was showing that some of the police, they weren't wearing body cams. They were turning their body cams off. And it gets real sticky, you guys. However, I don't want to sit up here and just drag people for not speaking up enough. Let's shine a light on just two brands that I feel like their responses were great. I want to shine a light on Bratz. Bratz, the doll company. They say our hearts break for George Floyd and the Black community. Bratz has always been and always will be about diversity and inclusivity. It is all of our responsibility to take a stand against racism, and we can't call ourselves inclusive while staying silent about these social injustices right in front of us. If you are neutral in situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. Desmond Tutu. Please sign the Justice for George Floyd petition in our bio. And you know what, you guys? That is what you should be doing. I feel like if you're a brand, if you're someone with a voice, if you're someone with a platform, what is so, like, what I feel almost like, what are you afraid of? You get what I'm saying? You're afraid you're going to get some messages like, why are you supporting Black people? Are you afraid you're going to lose some followers? What, like, and if you do, why would you want those people supporting you? I just wonder. I wonder, and it bears repeating. I wonder some more. We also have RuPaul's Drag Race. Black Lives Matter. We stand with the hashtag Black Lives Matter movement and call for the end of systemic racism. These racist and brutal attacks must end. We call for justice. And I wanted to show that example just to show you guys that it does not always have to be some sort of 9-paragraph thought catalog article kind of statement. It could be just as simple as Black Lives Matter. We stand with the hashtag Black Lives Matter movement and call for the end of systemic racism. These racist and brutal attacks must end. We call for justice. It could be just as simple as that. I wonder so passionately why Black celebrities are not exactly speaking out, and they're not speaking up. The Black celebrities I do see speaking up are saying things, don't tear down the businesses because my business. Oh, okay. I hear you. Don't burn down and don't tear down Black-owned businesses amongst the rioting and the looting. All I have to say to that specifically, you guys, when it comes to any business owned by anyone, right? You can lose your business. You could have a rock thrown through your business. Someone could take a baseball bat to your window, which, by the way, a lot of the people causing the destruction based off of the videos that I've seen on Twitter are not black. So I want to make sure that I steer the car away from that. You guys, if you guys have been watching the news, I almost want to urge you guys to stop watching the news. There's a TikTok going around where, and I'm sure you guys have seen it if you guys are on Twitter, a TikTok going around where it's like all of the newscasters from all over the country are all saying like the same thing, and it was like, imagine that the media is not controlled. And I'm just like, I implore you to stop watching the news simply because it's too much. It's too much. Lordy. I want to say this also, you guys. I feel as though brands should be speaking out. I feel as though, especially brands that sort of pander to black people and black communities, should be speaking up. I feel like when you're a big, huge brand like Fashion Nova, and you have, and all of your emails and marketing are like, yes, sis, with the 100 emoji, and y'all post one little thing on your Instagram story, I feel like that's like, girl, what? I just wish that there was as much love from the brands as we give them. You get what I'm saying? Y'all profit off of the black dollar. Why wouldn't you be there for the people that are keeping your businesses afloat? I just wonder. I wonder. Scary stuff. Really fast, I want to talk about the Paul brothers, literally for this amount of time, because they don't deserve the attention. But I'm absolutely not surprised that, I think it was Jake Paul, was out looting with the people and acting like he was there to do something important or anything positive. I think that he's a joke. I think that it's sad that YouTube is keeping his channel up. I think that both Paul brothers' channels should have been deleted when Logan was in the forest doing what he was doing. I think that they're annoying, and they don't bring anything positive to the movement except negative attention. Jessica says, I can't believe that in 2020 we are still having these conversations. I'm white, English, Italian, but half my family is black through marriage, so my nephews and nieces are mixed and all under 10 years old. It's a shame, Jessica. My brother is like 14 years old, and I feel like when you're born in the shadow of 9/11 and then you grow up with all of these injustices and slayings, it's heavy. And it's heavy especially for a young person. Awful stuff. I do want to say, I'll say this in closing, because I don't want to harp on this too much longer, because it is kind of depressing. Do what you can. If you're a brand profiting off of the black dollar, you need to be putting out statements. You need to be sharing links. You need to be doing everything that you can, sharing resources. I'm not saying that the brands, Mrs. Fashion Nova, whoever she is, she doesn't need to be, I'm the queen of Fashion Nova. She doesn't need to be marching out and protesting if she does not feel moved to do so. But I feel like they are obligated to share a list of resources so that people, their customers, their fans, people that enjoy their clothing can help. And Anthony says, Jake Paul is still a thing. Kay Richard said, they need to go hide in a corner somewhere. Kershell says, can we cancel the Paul bros? I would like to briefly say that I feel as though the Kar-Jenners are not doing enough. We're going to get into Kylie in just a moment because speculation on confirmation. Let's get into Kylie's wallet. But I don't think that they're doing enough for a family where I believe almost all of the children are black. I think that it would have been awesome, phenomenal, and amazing for Kylie to share a list of resources. I really, I knew that it wouldn't happen, if we're being honest. I knew that it wouldn't happen, but I sat and I thought, and I was like, you know, all of these black children in the Kardashian family, there's no way that they can sit by and like watch, you know, black people be slain and see what the president is saying and just like not say anything or do anything substantial. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I expected to see Kylie out marching next to Ariana Grande, but I definitely wanted her. I wanted her Leo spirit to jump out. I wanted Kylie to say, "Not my black baby." I wanted her and Travis to put out a series of photos saying Black is beautiful, Black Lives Matter. Whether they're together or not, I feel like that doesn't even matter at this point. I wish that they would have done something. I feel like Kris Jenner dropped the ball. Unfortunately, they're too busy wrapped up in what Forbes is talking about to even really do what they need to do. And I wish I could say that I was proud of them in this moment, but I'm not. Because even though over at work it's fun to tag and drag them because they are dumb as hell, and I do root for Kylie, I feel like it's just not enough. Kylie, you gave birth to a black woman. You've got to be doing everything that you can in your power, in your wallet, in your spirit to protect that black woman. And I feel like she's not doing that. Madison said, Jake Paul looting? WTF? Girl, he was looking stupid. And he was out there saying that he wasn't doing nothing wrong. Meanwhile, we got the screenshots of him drinking vodka from a bottle that was looted from the PF Chang's that was right beside him. Jake Paul is full of shit, to be honest. And it's disappointing. Alrighty, you guys. Oh my God, we're already at 43 minutes in. Ooh, we're making good time today, y'all. Let's hit it. Let's do this. First of all, if you're here today, thank you so much for joining. I knew it was going to be like a heavier episode. I knew I wasn't going to ignore everything that was going on in the world today. Please feel free to give this video a thumbs up if you love the Green Chair Chat, and if you always want to be notified of everything going on, you gotta like the video, or it might not let you know when I upload another one, or when I'm going live, or when I make everything go boom, boom, boom. So be sure to subscribe if you're new. Give this video a thumbs up if you're a returning subscriber. And also check out the merch, because we're about to get into the huge speculation, not confirmation, of the episode. So hold on to your wigs, because speculation, not confirmation, Kylie Jenner is not a billionaire, and Kris Jenner probably has been forging all of her legal paperwork, all of her financial records, and now Forbes is calling her out. So let's read up. Kylie Jenner's status as a billionaire has been called into question by Forbes. Now, if you remember, Forbes in the past has reported that Kylie Jenner is the self-made billionaire, and I've gone to bat for her like, well, it's her business. Like, yeah, she made her money off the show, and she flipped it, and now y'all are mad. But in my opinion, I feel like Forbes, you're coming out and exposing Kylie, but y'all are the ones that put out the report. So are y'all not credible? So the magazine on Friday, they published the results of an investigation into Kylie's finances, and they were saying that the Kardashians provided misleading information about Kylie's wealth, and it now estimates that her net worth is at just under $900 million, which is still a huge amount of money. I wish just to see one of those millions, but we'll have to see. The jury's still out on that. In Forbes' latest report, which actually came out on Friday, they're saying that the company, Kylie's company, is significantly smaller and less profitable than the family has spent years leading the cosmetics industry and media outlets, citing filings released by publicly traded Coty. And if you remember, Coty was the company that Kylie basically sold Kylie Cosmetics to. So, I mean, oop. It's not funny that Kylie is like not as rich as she thought as much as they were trying to lead us on to believe. It's funny to me that this is news. Like, Kylie's not a billionaire, Kylie lied. Um, so Kylie's team came out and said that Forbes' accusation that Kylie and her accountants forged tax returns is unequivocally false, and we are demanding that Forbes immediately and publicly retract that and other statements. And that's from Kylie's lawyer, so-and-so comp. Who cares? My question is this. Sorry, that was right by the microphone. My question is this, you guys. If Kylie Jenner is not a billionaire, right, why do the Kardashians feel the need to bestow that upon her? Why do the Kardashians feel as though they have to have such a huge hand in how they're perceived? If Kylie's a billionaire or not, either way, she's richer than all of us. I feel as though Kylie would be fine if she were 300 millionaire, 500 millionaire, 3 billionaire, cajillionaire, trillionaire, whatever air. Who cares? I just find it very strange that there was no sort of explanation from Forbes as to why they would publish the reports. Forbes, now I'm kind of looking at you with the... Because I wonder what else is misleading or false in your reports. You're saying that you did an investigation, but speculation, not confirmation. Did you not do an investigation the first time when you were publishing that Kylie's a billionaire and she's self-made? Where was the investigation? Where was the verification of paperwork then? Like, were y'all checking her tax documents or what? Did y'all call the IRS? Like, what changed? What made y'all feel as though, well, this can't be right? You get what I'm saying? I have a lot of questions. Bella says, do you think this will affect her deal with Coty Cosmetics? As I heard they have a certain period they can ask for their money back from her. Bella, I wonder if Coty knew the truth about her earnings and didn't care and went along with the lie. Because it seems as though everyone was in on it. I would imagine that Forbes was in on it too. Speculation, not confirmation. Did Chris pay y'all off and Chris missed a payment on one of the bills or something? What is going on? Why did Forbes just like decide on a Friday of all days to just publish this story? Everything in the world is going to the left and y'all are just out here trying to get some clicks and views off of Kylie's a liar? Kylie's not exactly a billionaire. Like, she might as well be. $900 million, she might as well be. You get what I'm saying? If she has another revolutionary product, she will be. So I just wonder. Tamara says, why lie? Just to look good? I wonder. And I mean, who is handing Forbes over the paperwork? You get what I'm saying? I don't imagine Kylie Jenner is walking into Forbes or sitting up there going, okay, Forbes, here's my paperwork, here's my tax documents. It makes me sort of wonder, well, Chris, did you? What's going on? I just want to know. It just seems as though there was a deal put in place between one party and another. One party might have said, y'all gonna keep going with the lie without this coin. And this person over here said, oh no, we needs our coins, girl. And if you don't give us our coins, we gonna let this shit out. And this person over here was like, well, all right, let the shit out. I'm gonna call your bluff. And now the shit is out. And we don't really care. I just wonder. Madison said Coty did not do their due diligence. And there you go. Do you think that they just believed? They just believe everything that you read. But you know what? Seeing is believing. You always have to verify your receipts, verify your sources. I've been in situations where I had to wait for due diligence and it was a minute before it was all done. So, I mean, why? Why lie? Like, if Kylie Jenner isn't a billionaire, I mean, honestly, who cares? What is the Kardashians' obsession with wanting to appear to be the best? Even though their clownish behavior and their antics always makes us, the audience, perceive them as idiots. For the most part. You get what I'm saying? For the most part. I feel like, girl, we wouldn't care if Kylie was a billionaire or not. But now that I'm sitting here, I'm wondering if this is Kylie's storyline for the show. I wonder. Right? Kim is struggling to be a mom and Kanye is stressing her out. Kendall is dating a man, hooking up with a man from some sports, whatever, and she's doing that. Courtney is saving Scott after he and Sophia split after randomly Scott's photo is leaked to the press from rehab, which shouldn't be on the show, which is why I believe it's a setup. But we know that that's Courtney's storyline. Chloe's storyline is I'm Queen Clown for a whole nother season. I'm sleeping with Tristan, but I don't want you guys to know. And also, I'm eventually going to have another baby with Tristan's body fluid, and I don't want you guys to know. And yeah, did I hit everybody? Who's left? Kylie. Oh, and Kylie's storyline is I'm broke. Not broke, but like Kylie's storyline is I'm not a billionaire. That's a good filler episode, I guess. Wesley says, when it comes to the Kardashians, everything is and can be a storyline. And I agree. And that's why I feel as though Sophia and Scott were like this close to getting out of the Kar Jenner clutches, but Chris set it up at the rehab for it to become a storyline, for them to break up, to give the fans hope that Scott and Courtney will get back together one day. It's just not going to happen. In my mind. I could very well be wrong, but I don't think that I am. Christy says, have you seen the movie Broken Glass? It's based on top tier journalism that doesn't do proper receipt checks. I haven't seen that, but now I'm a little bit curious. Kershell says, what about Rob? Kershell, honestly, Rob should be laying low because the Black China stuff, we haven't heard a lot, but that doesn't mean that we won't. Rob doesn't want to be on the show, to my knowledge. I imagine that he comes out of the basement for air, and to also play with Dream here and there. The situation with Black China and Rob, as you guys know, I'm the most biased person on the internet because I met Black China and I had a weird situation, so that's where I go off of. And so I believe that probably, honestly, at this point, I believe that Black China did something wrong, maybe, but I also believe that Rob's buttermilk is not clean. Something is not right all the way there. They're a mess. And Kay Richards says they're a mess as well. Felicia's here. Hey, Felicia. Hey, girl. Felicia says, I'm about to add Broken Glass to my watch list. That sounds good. It does sound good. It's a lot to handle, you guys. I'm going to give you guys a few moments to ask any questions that you would like to ask before I skedaddle out of here. I didn't realize that we're already coming up on an hour already. But I really wanted to just drive in the nails home of everything that I wanted to get down to the bottom of. Like I said at the top of the hour, please feel free to jump down in the description box below. Feel free to donate to help bail out protesters down in Minnesota that are being arrested, and so many of them are trying to protest peacefully. Please do that. Charlotte says Rob is kept in the tower. Bring him out when the views drop. And Charlotte, I agree, 100 million trillion %. Daiquiri says, do they really know what their real lives are at this point? And Daiquiri, I wonder that sometimes as well. I wonder, do they think in terms of I'm gonna just do this, or do they think in terms of oh God, how is that going to look on the show? I wonder, because their whole life is the show. Madison says, Kylie versus Forbes, season finale, part 1. Madison, honestly, I hope not. I'm kind of over the Kar Jenners. I feel like their tricks are tired. I think that they're just like, I think we should move on. I don't know who can take their spot if their spot needs to be taken. But I wonder, what is it going to take to end the reign of the Kar Jenners? I don't know. Mally says, Courtney, do you have a Venmo account to tip you? I think my Venmo account is CourtneyRevolution, but I do have the super chat if you guys wanted to directly support me in that way. I made it very clear on last Sunday's stream, but I just want to reiterate very, very, very strongly that when you are on my channel, it is my platform. So when you do things like support the merch and you support me with the super chat, all of that support comes straight to me, and on other platforms, it does not. So thank you always for supporting CourtneyRevolution on CourtneyRevolution's channel on his platform. I always appreciate it. And I always have love for you guys. Mo says, ready for the Car Jenners to go bye-bye, move away. They can get their own island and be gone. Tamara says, the Car Jenners have to have something to keep the show going. And you know what, Tamara? I agree. I just wish that it felt real. You know what I mean? I felt like if they were really going through stuff, if they were just the kind of family that just like attracted drama and it was good, then I could be on board. But, you know, every car eventually runs out of gas and you have to move on into a new vehicle. You got to repurpose, you got to clean it up, you got to do something else. I'm just bored. I am. Madison says Rob and China is the one storyline I actually would like to see. I feel like Rob and China, I love them. I'll say this, I really, truly, passionately love them together on TV because I felt like they were an explosive couple, but I felt like they would weather the storm. And then we found out that they didn't weather the storm. And that's okay. Relationships don't have to work out, but I am very, very curious to see how their situation with Dream is going to end up because I really, really, truly want the best for all of the children. And I feel like sometimes the interest of the children is lost amidst all of the drama. Hey, Brittany D7, hey. Karina says their car is going to run out of gas, so they'll get an electric one and try to keep it pushing. And I agree. I agree. 100 million trillion gajillion%. Sorry, y'all. This water is ice cold. Kay Richard said, have you heard of the reality show Total Bellas? Sorry, I had to spin. Total Bellas. Is that the... Oh, whoops. It might be CourtNeyRevolution. My stuff everywhere is either CourtneyRevolution or CourtNeyRevolution. Y'all, real quick before I go, I've like rediscovered my love for the WWE randomly out of nowhere, especially since the day I found out that all of the WWE shows are like on Hulu. So I've recently just started watching the show called, I thought it was Total Divas. Maybe the Bella twins got their own spinoff and I just don't know yet. But I just started watching it. Season 1. Girl, these wrestlers be having all this drama and I live for it because some of it is so staged and it's so good. If you just want something like to play in the background, like I'd watch it just to watch it because I'm interested. But if you want something to play in the background, girl, you need to put on Total Divas, Total Bellas, all of the WWE stuff. So good. I'm late. I'm just late, but yes, listen, I'm a WWE, I was a nerd, like for it, loved it, John Cena poster in my bedroom. Now I'm just sort of like casual watcher, but I love it. I'm gonna jump back into it. But anyway, you guys, I'm gonna get out of here because I've been rambling. Thank you so much for joining me here for a Kiki with me, home of the Green Chair Chats. I will be back next Sunday. You guys know you can find me at Holly Scoop tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. But I'll be back next Sunday here in the Green Chat, 12 p.m. noon Pacific Standard Time. Be sure to follow me on all of my social media. It's CourtneyRevolution, most places except on Twitter, where I am CourtRevolution. Be sure to support me by picking up some merch or leaving a super chat if you'd like. Also, be sure to check out me and Felicia's podcast over here in the pantry. There are so many episodes for you guys to catch up on and listen to. We get into so many different things. Horoscopes, love, our passion, friendships gained, friendships lost. It's really a wild life. It's really a wild ride, and I really enjoy that me and Felicia can just put our friendship on display for you guys to consume and enjoy. So definitely check out Overheard in the Pantry. It's on Spotify, it's on Anchor, it's on Castbox, it's on all of the Apple, it's on all the podcast networks. But until next time, you guys, my name is Courtney. This is the Revolution Detective Agency. Don't forget that the world keeps spinning, and so shall you. And I'll see you guys next Sunday. Don't forget to wear your masks. Always make sure you hit them and hook them behind the ear. And always, always, always remember to wash your hands, please. Don't forget. I'll see you next Sunday. And some of you guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.